y'all, in today's video, I am going to be giving you a flip through of the Growing Up with God unit from Gather Round, so stick around. As you may have seen in my previous video, we are now going to be studying the human body. And to go along with that, we are going to also be using the Growing Up with God unit from Gather Round. To give you a little bit of background, my daughter just turned 8, and I got the girls' notebook in level 1 for her. This will be really our first time having any kind of conversation as it relates to this topic outside of just a few things that have been necessary over the course of her life thus far. We've not really done any studies or anything like that in regards to growing up. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight as to why I chose level 1. It's one of those start at the beginning and we will work our way through. Obviously, I won't be able to share everything in the notebooks with you, but I will do my best to share with you as much as I can and give you as much information as I can that hopefully will help you make a decision as to whether this is going to be a good option for your family. Also, something important to know is there are 3 levels of the Growing Up with God unit. Each level goes more in depth and is a little bit more expanded, and there is both a girls and boys option for all 3 of those levels. Also, in each of those levels, you receive a teacher's companion as well as the actual student notebook. This is designed to be done independently by your student alone, and then you can review the things being talked about and any conversation questions or anything like that that is covered that day is listed in your teacher's companion. So the idea is that your child can do this alone and then you guys meet at a specific time or however you have that worked out, and then you can discuss what was talked about in that lesson that day. However, I've decided we're actually going to work through both of these together. I will review the teacher's companion that day just to kind of get a brief idea of what we're going to be discussing, and then my daughter and I will actually work through the student book together. That way, as questions arise or if she needs further explanation of things or anything like that, I'm right there and she doesn't have to wait until a later time in case she forgets something or whatever the case may be. So at first, we will quickly run through the teacher's companion and then we will switch it over to the student notebook. Okay, so here we have the teacher's companion. Gives you a before you begin. So just a little description of what's included in the unit, who it was designed for, how it was designed, all of those things. This would be something really great to review to make sure that it kind of meets all of your needs and is what you're looking for your student. Then you have your table of contents. You'll see here there are 10 chapters, starting with the wonderful way God made you, the wonderful way we talk, the parts we have, the way we stay healthy, the way our bodies change, the way our minds change, walking close to God, being a good friend, the way babies change, and the way we protect our purity. So this is what your teacher's companion looks like. You get a brief overview of what your child will be learning or covering in that particular chapter, the questions that are asked in that chapter, and then also the conversation starter questions or just kind of things to ponder on that are also included in your child's notebook. And that follows through all the way through the entire guide here. And then at the end, of course, you have some verses. And that is it for the teacher's companion. Now for the student notebook, again, I got the level 1 for girls. There is a completely separate notebook for boys. So same thing, it gives them a little introduction as to what to expect in the unit. And same thing with the table of contents. And then it starts. So again, they would read through all of the information here but we will be reading this together. And once we've read everything, we've kind of run through these conversation starter questions. I will let my daughter fill in her things here, offer help if she needs it, anything like that. And then she would move into chapter 2. And again, it just goes all the way through talking about hygiene, boundaries, morning routine, changes that we may see, walking closer to God, so the importance of prayer, reading God's word, the way that babies change, the way that we protect our purity is the last chapter, so it just talks about pictures, books, movies, and things in real life. And that is it for the student notebook. So a couple of important things that you may want or need to know at the level 1 notebook, depending on which one you choose, whether it's girls or boys, there are pictures and they do use anatomically correct terms for that specific notebook. So there is no additional information in that regard for the level 1 notebooks. Another important thing that you may want to know is the way babies change. Chapter really only talks about the actual development of the baby in the womb. There is no talk of things prior to that. I believe that happens in the later levels. We likely will be going through 1 chapter a week of this unit study. We will have just kind of a dedicated day that we use for our unit study days. And so this one will be first. And then when we're done with this, we will move on to whatever fun one we have planned next. If you guys have any specific questions, or if there's something that you really need to know as it relates to content found in the curriculum, please leave a comment below. I will do my best to answer them as best I can. If you're looking for more human body resources, check this video here where I go through all of the changes that we have made to our curriculum recently. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.